In problem 3, it reads, if triangle ABC is reflected across the x-axis first, and then reflected across line G to produce A double prime, triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, what is the equation of line G? Okay, so, well, what is this question all about? What is a double prime? Okay, so what's going on here is that this triangle is being reflected first across the x-axis. And that is going to give us triangle, so we have a transformation which is equal to a reflection across the x-axis of triangle ABC. Whoa, can't spell anymore. Okay, triangle ABC, which gives us triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay, we don't see that triangle here because it hasn't been drawn. That's why the hint is telling us to draw triangle A prime, B prime, C prime first. Then there's a second transformation, which is a reflection across line G of triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, which is going to give us this triangle, triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. So what's going on is that there are two transformations. This is the pre-image of the first. The image of the first transformation we have to draw in. And then that becomes the pre-image for a second transformation, which then leads to this final triangle. So there's a missing link. We've got to fill in the missing link. And we're told that ABC is reflected across the x-axis first. So let's do that. Let's do this. Let's reflect ABC across the x-axis to give us the first triangle, A prime, B prime, C prime. So x-axis is here. Let me just highlight it. Of course, it's pretty highlighted already, but let's just make sure we know exactly where it is. Okay, good. And so now let me reflect C across the x-axis. Well, C is sitting on the x-axis, which means that it doesn't move. Remember, any point that's already on the line of reflection is going to be stationary. A, however, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units above the x-axis, so it gets reflected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units below. So this becomes A prime. And B is also 5 units above, so it gets also reflected 5 units below. For here. So our A prime, B prime, C prime triangle is this. Let's draw it in. Okay. So there we've got our missing link. Okay, this is the triangle that then is reflected to create this triangle to the right. So there's a reflection going on to go from here to here. The question is, over what line is it being reflected? Well, the easiest way to look at this problem is to remember the construction that we did when we were given a pre-image and an image and we were asked to construct the line of reflection. And the answer to doing that is to look at the line segment that joins any two of the points, of the corresponding points of the pre-image and the image. In this case, we could look at C prime and C double prime, or B prime and B double prime. It might be a little bit easier to look at this because it's smaller, and then try to find the perpendicular bisector. Okay, so we're looking at the line segment here, B prime, B double prime, and all we have to do is draw the perpendicular bisector, and that will give us the line we're looking for. That will give us the line of reflection. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that if we want to bisect the line, it has to be midway, which is that point there, which means that our line of reflection is perpendicular to line segment B prime, B double prime at that point. So this is our line of reflection, and all we need to do now is determine what is its equation. Okay, now it is parallel to the y-axis. It intersects the x-axis at x equals 1. So that's its equation. X equals 1. That is the equation of this line. I'm sorry, -1. X equals -1, of course. We're to the left of the origin here. So it is intersecting x at x equals -1. And therefore that is the equation. X equals -1. So that takes us through problem 3. And now we can go on to problem 4. And we have here, if triangle ABC is reflected across line M first, and then it's reflected across line G to produce triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, what is the equation of line G? And again, the hint is to draw the first reflection first. So let's do that. They're telling us that ABC is reflected across line M. So this is line M. Let's make sure we label our y-axis over here and our x-axis over here. So we're not reflecting over the y-axis. We're reflecting over line M. What is the equation of line M, by the way? Well, here x is equal to -2. So the equation here would be x equals -2. They're not asking us that, but it's just good to know it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start reflecting point A, B, and C over line M. So A is 1, 2, 3 units to the right of M. So A prime would be 1, 2, 3 units to the left. C is 1, 2, 3 to the right. So C prime would be 1, 2, 3 to the left. And B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right of M. So B prime would be 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got a triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Let's join the sides. Let's see what our triangle looks like. Okay, so like we'd expect, this is an isometry. This triangle is congruent to the original triangle. Its orientation is reversed. Here we go from A to B to C is a clockwise movement. Here from A prime to B prime to C prime is a counterclockwise movement. So it looks very much like the reflections that we've been seeing. Now we still have to determine what is the equation of line G. So that has to do with the reflection from A prime, B prime, C prime triangle to this triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. So again, to determine the equation of G, we can take any 2 points in the pre-image and the image that are corresponding points, draw a line segment between the two. In this case, we're going to draw a line segment between C prime and C double prime. Find the perpendicular bisector to it. Okay, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2, counting 1, 2, and 1, 2, this green point would be the point at which the perpendicular bisector will intersect the line segment. So let's draw that perpendicular bisector. This is the perpendicular bisector. And let's determine what is the equation of this line. Well, this green line is a line that is parallel to the x-axis, and it's intersecting the y-axis at y equals 1. Okay, so that is the equation of G, y equals 1. So let's review our 2 answers here. The first answer was x equals -1, which was a vertical line, 1 unit to the left of the y-axis. And the answer to 4 was y equals 1, which is a horizontal line that is 1 unit above the x-axis.